The choice of nib size for drawing. A good old question, so old in fact that calligraphers asked it many centuries ago, and luckily for us they found an answer. So I'll read a couple sentences from a calligraphy book, but if you want to read the full paragraph, here it is in pictures, you can pause and read. The character of the writing depends not only upon the possible variation of thick and thin strokes, but also upon the general weight and texture of the forms. Letters of the same height can be heavy if drawn with a thick nib or light if drawn with a relatively fine nib, as this is determined by how much of the available space is occupied by a single pen stroke. So not only the lines themselves are important, but also the space in between those lines is as important as the lines themselves, okay? So here you can see me applying same amount of lines in the same space with different nib sizes, and you can clearly tell that the medium one gains much darker value right away. So even if you don't need the crazy amount of small detail in a smaller space, you should be mindful of the fact that values will be much darker and you'll have less room for value variation if you're using a medium nib. So to borrow the term from digital art, the finer nib gives you larger resolution in a smaller space. Here just for the lefts I applied the 5 nib rule to cross hatching, so I took the width of 5 nibs of my drawing tool and I drew a letter O because it's closer to the square that appears in between the cross hatching lines, and I just extrapolated those lines and you can see the rhythm this rule gives to cross hatching. And then in second experiment I did the same thing, but just drew a few lines in between those hatches. And to be honest, I really like the rhythm that this rule gives, and yeah, it's pretty cool that this works not in calligraphy only. Okay, this is it for now, I'll see you in the next video.